What's up you guys, Sasha here, and today I'm going to cover a topic which is definitely not going to make me popular with a lot of people. I'm going to explain to you why you will not become a millionaire just by simply saving money into a savings account for your whole working career. I'm going to go through the maths, explain exactly how it works, but before we get there, let's just talk about savings as a concept. It is something that you're taught from when you're a young kid all the way through school. When you're growing up, everyone tells you you must save, you must put money into a savings account. It is the best thing you can do. That is the way people get rich. That is the way you have a strong amount of money to retire on. That is sadly not true. And the reason it's not true is rich people don't become rich by saving money. Rich people become rich by making more of it in the first place. Now, not saving money is not the same thing as going out and spending it all. What I mean is the money that you do get, you need to invest in the right way, and investing is not quite the same thing as saving. And here's the difference. Saving is just taking the money that comes into your bank account that you're earning through your salary or whatever, and just putting it into a separate account over here that will pay you a fixed, known in advance, usually very low amount of money per month called interest. And generally speaking, that interest in almost all cases will be less than the rate of inflation, which means that if the money just goes and sits in a bank account paying you interest, you are losing money every single month versus what you can actually buy with it. Just for a very simple example, if the average inflation rate over a period of time is say 2%, then the average savings account will be paying you 1% or thereabouts over the same period. So essentially every year, that money that goes into the savings account will lose you 1% of its value, and the bank gets to do whatever it wants, lend it out to other people in the meantime. Now, there's lots of benefits to having a savings account, and we must make sure that we cover them too. Your money is more accessible, your money is generally much better protected than lots of investments because a bank gives you guarantees up to a certain amount. In the UK, it's £85,000. In different countries, it works a little bit different. But generally speaking, you're a lot more secure. You know that money is going to sit there and you're always going to have access to it. But if your objective is to become a millionaire, to have £1 million in an account at some point when you retire, this just isn't going to work. I've done some research, and there's actually a few videos out there where people will explain to you that you can become a millionaire by investing $5 per day for the working duration of your life, and you will have $1 million at the end of it. These videos are really popular. They have a huge amount of views. We're talking over 1 million views on one of these videos. The problem is maths. And let me tell you a few things that these videos just completely miss out, completely forget about, completely ignore, just for the sake of making a nice point and telling you that all you need to do to have £1 million or $1 million or $1 million anything in your bank account is by putting 5 of those things into your bank account every single month. So the first problem with maths is the rate of return that lots of these people will tell you your money is going to get. Now, if you look at different videos, they range between about 8%, some of them talk about 10%, and Dave Ramsey and other financial gurus and people who like to tell you that they know everything there is to know about money will tell you you can get as high as 12% returns on average over a long period of time. Now, if you go and look at any kind of data, any kind of investment data, any kind of trends over a longer period of time and not pick a very specific 1 or 2 year period, you will notice that the numbers just don't stack up. If you look at the FTSE index over the last 30 years, the average return before the recent massive downturn was about 6.4%. If you look at any other international index, you will see similar figures. Generally speaking, double-digit returns on average for an average investment in an index fund or in stocks where you don't have some very specific insider information generally does not happen. It might happen in the short term, and it might happen in 1 or 2 years. I've certainly had years where some of the investments that I've had really, really high returns, but on average, that is just not going to happen. Now let's put some assumptions in to make it really easy to compare all these things. I'm going to be very generous here. I'm going to assume that by the time the people that are starting their professional life now, people who are 18, by the time they get to retirement age, the retirement age is probably going to be about 75. I don't know, I'm just making this up. It is going up to 68 by 2028 according to the latest UK government projections, and they are actively saying that that number is going to continuously adjust as the population ages, and it's been going up quite rapidly in recent years, so I think that's probably quite a reasonable guess. We're also going to make just some rough assumptions saying there's 30 days in a month, and we're going to assume that you don't literally go and put $5 into your savings account every single day, because that's just not sustainable over the entire life that you're going to have. So let's let's just assume that you're going to contribute the 30 days worth of the £5 or however much you're going to have to invest into this thing that we're going to come to later. You're going to do it once a month. You're going to put the money in the beginning of the month and it's going to have a whole month to earn interest. Keep the maths really simple just for the sake of getting to the right answer. Now, if we do assume the 6.4% average return on your investments that you're going to get over the lifetime of your professional career, and we do assume that you start your investments aged 18, we're going to assume for the sake here that you're going to start working the moment you leave school and don't even go to university, and you're going to work all the way to retirement at 75. In that case, the amount of money that you need to invest in order to have £1 million in your account at the end of it is £5.09. So that sounds close enough. That's about what everyone else will tell you. But this is the bit where we get to number 2 on a list of maths problems in this calculation, and that is the really simple fact of inflation. Now, just because you have an amount of money at the end of your bank account that is measured in a number that today sounds quite good does not make it good at that point in time. I can tell you right now that £1 million today is very, very different to £1 million 57 years ago. So if you think about it the same going in the future, that difference is going to be just as big. So it's going to assume the average rate of inflation that the UK has had over the last 30-year period, the same as what I did for the investment portfolio. That has actually been just above 2%. So that's what I've assumed. So the moment you do that, suddenly investing just £5 just doesn't quite cut it. In fact, just by adding inflation, suddenly the daily amount that you have to contribute to the savings account just to get to £1 million in 57 years time is almost £16. Now £15.92 sounds like a lot of money, and that's because it is. That's almost £500 a month. Every single month that you have to put into a savings account just so that at the end you might have a nice sounding figure. Well, the problem is that's not all there is to it. And the one thing that everyone's forgotten in all of this is taxes. Now, being a millionaire because you have earned £1 million in gross income isn't really how most people talk about being a millionaire. A millionaire kind of means that you should have £1 million in your bank account or on your person, actually in your hands. As a result, taxes will affect how much money you actually get at the end. So let's assume that the tax regime remains exactly as it is today, just for the sake of the argument. And today there are generally 3 different ways that you can draw money from investments into your bank account. By far the best way is the way that is designed for shares and stocks and all those types of investments, and that is by paying the capital gains tax. In the UK, that capital gains tax today for higher amounts like £1 million is 20%. Now, the other 2 ways are by setting up some kind of company and either paying yourself dividends or paying yourself a salary, but both of those are much, much higher levels of tax. We're talking about 38% for dividends, we're talking about 45% as the higher income tax bracket, plus you'll then have to pay national insurance at 2% and the employer's national insurance at another 13%. So generally speaking, by far and away the best way of paying tax is going to be through capital gains tax. Now, if we're going to be paying the 20% capital gains tax, that means to get £1 million into your bank account or into your hands, you will have to earn 1.25 million gross before the payout, before you've paid the tax. So in order to get that amount of money at the end and take into account inflation and taking into account the average 6.4% return, the average amount of money you're going to have to put into a savings account every single day of your working life from the age of 18 until the age of 75 when you retire is £19.90. That is a whopping £606 a month that you have to put into your savings account every single month for your whole life. And that equates to about £414,000 worth of money before you get any of the interest and any of the benefit down the line. That is just a crazy, crazy amount of money, and that is exactly why just saving on its own is never, never, never going to make you £1 million. The best thing you can do with your money is be smart and investing it instead, because the rate of return there is going to be considerably greater if you take some risks early on and be able to diversify your portfolio by managing the higher risk, higher return things against lower risk, lower return things in the right way. Now, I know 1 or 2 of you at this point are going to say, hey, but there's ISA accounts. There's these tax-free things where you can invest money and not have to pay tax on the returns that you get. And sure, they do exist, but You will never be able to invest in the kind of stocks and shares and optimize your portfolio the same way using a regular ISA account as you will by investing in the market directly. And generally the returns on those accounts are never going to be at the 6.4% or anything higher than that on average over a long period of time. The returns on those accounts are going to be considerably less, and the reason is they're part of just the old regular savings process where you get much lower returns. They're going to be higher than regular savings, that's for sure, but they're just not going to get you to that millionaire status either. I hope you guys found this useful. If you have, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. I release videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure you smash that bell to get notifications every time one of them comes out. They come out in the morning. And make sure if you did like this video, if you found value in it, that you give us a like, that you smash that like button right now if you haven't done so already. It really, really helps the YouTube algorithm get our videos to more people, to get us to grow more quickly. We're a brand new channel. I really, really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.